Testing, testing, testing. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, good Wednesday morning. It's 8 a.m. on the East Coast. I'm your host, BKP. We're coming to you live from LJ, Georgia, right? Do you know where LJ, Georgia is? Well, you should come up and say hello sometime. We have a great Apple Festival going on up here in LJ. We have Paul's in the Park this weekend. We always have things going on, and it's beautiful in October in the North Georgia mountains. I'm your host, BKP. If you'd want to get in touch with the show, you could text us at 706 889-9700 or chief@fetchernews.com. And also follow us on Twitter at FetcherNews, at FYNTV, at Team FYN Sports. Also, our YouTube channel is FYN. Josh, let's put a new tag across the top there where we have room in the header for tomorrow's show or whenever on this screen right here that shows our YouTube channel exactly how it's labeled, okay? All right, thank you. So you can find our YouTube channel, FYNTV Fetcher News. You subscribe there, and anytime we're live, you'll get a notification. Okay, so this is not the Khashoggi hour, okay? Now, easy. I'm not glossing over a journalist from the Washington Post allegedly being murdered with the bone saw and everything in the Saudi Arabian consulate over there in Turkey, Istanbul, Turkey. I'm not glossing over that, okay? That is serious. But we're not going to do the Khashoggi hour. We're going to focus a little more on Georgia elections, primarily the governor's race, okay? Because I've watched the Rachel Maddows and I've watched the Chuck Todd and I've watched the national media really try to turn a story into something that is so far from true, and it's upsetting to me. And I want them out of our election. Now, I know we have national viewers, so wherever you may be this morning in the United States of America, the great United States of America, wherever you may be, welcome, stay tuned. But these are things you probably should pay attention to for your state, okay? It's happening everywhere. But if you'll notice, there's a hyper tuning into the state of Georgia for the governor's race that the national media has their eye on. Okay, so no, this is not the Khashoggi hour. We don't have time put up for number 16. We don't have time. We'll talk about it later in our comedic segment, if I think I'm funny. But we don't have time for Pocahontas and Horseface. Okay, so we'll leave Tiny. There's Tiny, Pocahontas, and Horseface. We'll do that later. Okay. If you don't know what that means, then you are living under a rock and you're not on social media. And how could you get who could tell the next creative Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas joke on Facebook? My favorite one on Facebook is Donald Trump's the maitre d' at a restaurant, and Pocahontas shows up. She wants a table for two, and Donald Trump looks at her and says, "You don't have a reservation." That's my favorite one. There's a lot of them. They're great. We understand the Jeep Cherokee is getting some great free advertising because the white Jeep Cherokee is going around like crazy on the media. So we don't have time for Tiny, Pocahontas, and Horseface. So move them off there. Now, we're going to focus on, do you think, now I want you to listen to something here, okay? We're going to play a couple videos. And my concern is Georgia. My concern is, are the Democrats, have they been preparing for quite some time with Eric Holder? Now remember, everybody that has listened to when they go low, we kick them. Remember, Eric Holder was in McDonough, Georgia. That's where he was at. So nationally, if you're one of them Fox viewers and you're sitting there all day and Fox never gets turned off and pot of coffee's going, hey, no problem. I'm good with that. Trust me, Mom and Dad this morning have Fox. They better have this show on, but they have Fox all day long and a pot of coffee going. I understand. So, but Fox has really hit that video of Eric Holder saying, when they go low, we kick them. But the thing that people leave off, it's he was in McDonough, Georgia, doing a training at that time. Now, I'm not going to go backward, but we have talked over and over the NDRC, the National Democratic Redistricting Committee. We've talked about that. They have been zeroed right in on Georgia. We know all the 2020 hopefuls have been here, but realistically, you've got Al Sharpton, okay? The domestic terrorist has been here. They all have been here to take pictures with Stacey Abrams. Kirsten Gillibrand, Pocahontas, just a couple days ago, was on the trail where we have a new famous video. So Hollywood is pouring money into Georgia. We have talked about the three people, Tom Steyer, the billionaire, who wants to impeach Trump, that has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on a campaign to impeach Trump. So he is the guy that wants to, overthrow your government, just like Alec Baldwin said the other day in New Hampshire. By impeaching Trump, he's the one slice of the billionaire key there. And then you have Michael Bloomberg. He is in Georgia all the way with his money. He has invested big money in Georgia, and yes, he wants to take your guns. That's not a scare tactic. I know some people say, well, conservatives or Republicans just yell a scare, and I'm not doing that. Michael Bloomberg is very clear, has a lot of very clear videos that you can watch of him. Yes, he does not feel we really need guns. He would disarm the American people. So he is the third mark zeroed in on Georgia. And then George Soros. And George Soros has given the Georgia Democrat Party millions, not just them, special interest groups, millions here in Georgia. And you think of another state out there, I just want you to focus with me if you're from Georgia. You think of another state out there that you could really put those three together that have zeroed in, poured money in, Hollywood's poured money in, okay? Eric Holder was in McDonough, Georgia doing a training. One of the very first names on the top of the list, not because her last name starts with an A. I know they're going to say, well, it's an A, Abrams. But Stacey Abrams was one of the top, okay, and first Barack Hussein Obama endorsed her, okay? So all of that being said, there's been a plan, okay? So I'm trying not to be, I know you're busy out there. So if you just woke up and said, oh my God, this is all going on in Georgia, where have you been? I understand you've been working, taking care of the kids, getting to soccer practice, football practice, all the above, trying to pay the bills. I'm with you. So nobody's upset. But this is where we're at. And my concern is, do you think, because I do think it's possible, okay, that Democrats, when I say Democrats, I'm talking about the Georgia Democrat Party, Stacey Abrams / Sarah Riggs Amico / John Barrow / on that top of the ticket, have they been planning to steal an election? That's going to be up to you to decide, okay? But I want to bring you some things right now. Now, I want to bring you the Stacey Abrams from the other day. She's with Pocahontas. You got to have fun. I mean, you don't have to like Donald J. Trump, but I'm going to tell you, he can throw a name out. And since she did the Native American DNA test, I tell you what, the American people love looking at that lady and calling her Pocahontas. And Democrats, you can say you don't do it, but you enjoy it too. But a couple days ago, Stacey Abrams is in Georgia campaigning with Elizabeth Warren, and this is what she says about the blue wave. Now, you're going to say, well, you're tired of seeing this, but let's play it one more time just to get our day started. Play that one, Josh.
But the thing of it is, the blue wave is African American.
Yeah!
It's white, it's Latino, it's Asian Pacific Islander.
Yes!
It is disabled. It is differently abled.
Yes.
It is LGBTQ.
Yes.
It is law enforcement.
Yes.
It is veterans.
Yes.
It is made up of those who've been told that they are not worthy of being here.
Yes.
It is comprised of those who are documented and undocumented.
Yes.
Okay, the blue wave, here's what she says. The blue wave, okay? The blue wave. All right, let's focus on this for a minute. The blue wave, and we're going to be going with the Dale. Is it Dale Russell? Or is that who it is with the where he sits down with Stacey Abrams? Okay, the blue wave is, and she gives a whole list. Now, she is out there today telling people, Stacey Abrams, Democrat candidate for Georgia governor. She's out there telling people now. I don't know if she said, quote, misspoke. Okay, but she's saying that was not her intent, okay? I tell you what, she didn't stutter, she didn't stumble, it was there on the roll. It was something that was rehearsed. It is something she knew she was going to say. Now, I want to bring this up, okay? They don't make the mistakes they claim, all right? What happens is every once in a while, a Democrat tells the truth. Every once in a while, of how they intend to do things. Now, going back, all right, Sarah Riggs Amico, Sunday before last, said, okay, not to quote, I don't have that, but said, hey, in a Me Too error, I don't know if a governor, Brian Kemp, makes it 4 years. Stuff happens. Why would you even say that? Why would you say that? But then when she's asked by the media, she starts backtracking and soft-shoeing and saying, she was just given a long list of possibilities or what could happen or so on and so forth, okay? So that being said, she backtracked. Abrams is trying to backtrack now on the illegals, which you can't. She said it. The one thing that I don't think people pick up on is the word documented and undocumented. Well, first of all, they're illegal. So, but documented. She wants every vote she can get. She's done the math. And when she says documented as part of the blue wave, that should be as concerning not citizens, not legally here able to vote in this country, not citizens of the state of Georgia, documented and undocumented. So if you're undocumented, she'd like to figure out how to get you registered, okay, and get you to vote. If you're documented, she'd like to figure out how to get you registered and vote. But documented, not meaning legally able to vote. I think that in that sentence where she says documented and undocumented, I know everybody's unhinged over the undocumented, and I agree with that. But I think we're glossing right over the documented side too. Now, we have brought up, well, we're gonna do this first. We're gonna do this first. Are you able to, do you think I can have the volume now? Do you think that's corrected or? Okay, let's try the Dale Russell. The one where somebody's sitting down, Fox 5 sits down with the interview, and this is back in July, I think.
So first of all, congratulations on having made history. I guess it won't be entirely satisfying unless you close the deal, right?
I am pleased at what we were able to accomplish, and I look forward to accomplishing even more.
Okay. Now, you know what the challenge is. A couple of years ago, President Trump beat Hillary Clinton here by a couple 100,000 votes. 4 years ago, Governor Deal won by a couple 100,000, and so did David Perdue. It seems pretty consistent. So where are you going to find 200,000 votes to change things here in Georgia and have a Democrat win?
There are more than 1 million eligible, available Democrats. But more than that, there are millions of Georgians who need to be engaged in this process. And what we've focused our campaign on is going to every state, every county in the state, talking to every community, really building that coalition of voters. Because I think the most important population that we haven't spoken to are those who don't think their voices matter, who look at what's happening in the economy and do not feel themselves to be represented. My campaign is about making sure that every voice is lifted up and that everyone knows that they will have the freedom and opportunity to thrive when I'm the next governor. And we're going to find more than 200,000 folks who want that to be so.
You know, it's interesting. It sounds like you're talking about the forgotten man and woman, which is precisely the terminology that Donald Trump uses, that's who he's appealing to. Obviously, you're not going after the same people. Who are you talking about?
I think that you will find that regardless of political ideology, there are a lot of folks who feel left behind. The goal is to make certain that the next governor of Georgia tries to serve every single one of them. My conversation, though, is going to be focused on the principles that I hold to be dear, that we have a strong public education system, that we are building a thriving and diverse economy in every county, and that we are using government to help do the things government's supposed to do. Number one on that list is expansion of Medicaid, because if we expand Medicaid, we expand Medicaid.
All right. Now, what I want you to pick up there, and this is where we're going this morning. Thanks for adjusting the volume, Josh. What I want you to pick up this morning, okay? Now, he says in this interview, and this is months ago. Now, keep this in mind, and this is why I want to work on this, because you're going to have to do some research at home. There's homework to go with this. All right? They know, right? They know. He brings up David Perdue. He brings up Governor Deal, okay? So they know there's that 200,000 gap there, okay, that they need. There's been that 200,000 gap. I've told you this from day one, all right? Democrats are always that 5%, okay? But let's, 5% out. But there's a 200,000 gap, and he brings it up. Now, this interview is months before exact match. Months before voter suppression. Okay? The media is not picking up on this. The national media is not even looking at this time at all. But what does she say? We have the 200,000. We have over 200,000 that we need. Now, bring up number 5, picture number 5, Josh. Okay? 5A. Sorry, that's my fault. Josh, I'll take the blame for that because I sent you 2 number 5s. Okay, now the interview, as you can see, she says we have over 200,000. Okay? That we need. We have them. So there's been a plot, and that's my opinion, or a plan to get enough registered voters, whether they're legal or not, on the roll, okay? On the roll to bridge the gap. Look at that right there. The new Georgia project reaches 221,897 submitted voter registrations. The new Georgia project. Now, it's over that right there. It's over that. But when she says we're going to do an outreach to every county, we're going to do outreaches to every county. The code words in that interview or statements are, we are going to pay canvassers. We have set up a project where people could funnel money into. You will not see how I use the money. People will not see exactly how the money is being used. That's another subject in itself. And we're going to start, Stacey Abrams started that. The new Georgia project reaches 221,897 submitted voter registrations. Okay? Stacey Abrams started that. They have known all along, just like that interview. Where are you going to find those 200,000? The gap from David Perdue, the gap from Nathan Deal, these elections in Georgia, Democrats are sitting, right there you go. But when she says we are going to aggressively get out and go county by county and we have the votes, she knows sitting there, we have the votes, they're out there. They paid canvassers to go out in all of these counties, okay? Now the next thing when we get into exact match and the media starts screaming, okay, where were they? I wish they would leave us alone in Georgia. Where were they? They feel they have a duty to do to protect the people of Georgia from voter suppression, which they absolutely know nothing about. And here we are in LJ, Georgia, with limited resources, limited staff. We don't have big research teams, and we're able to bring you the truth, okay, as opposed to these billion dollar corporate media fake news networks. I'm sorry whether you don't like that or not, that jump in to protect us. Why, they're coming in to help. You know, the mainstream media or the media, we had a saying, there was a term back years ago. They're like carpetbaggers. They come in and want to help at certain times. Why, fair and free elections, is that not something every single day you turn on? I watch Beto O'Rourke, or whatever his name, and Ted Cruz. I watch Synonym, whatever her name is, Cinnamon, I don't know, and McSally out in Arizona. I watch their debate. All of them know how to say free and fair elections, and my God, the media is coming in to help. Where were they when the truth was needed? So she said she could find the 221,000. Okay? She said that now their concern is what is there 57,000 that are held up, they claim, 53, whatever. Their concern is will they be able to push enough fraudulent voters across the line to steal the election? That's my opinion. Just is. I'm looking at all the math because Stacey Abrams is on record saying she's done the math. Oh, and don't think whatsoever now. Stacey Abrams is very educated lady. Very educated. Very smart. Okay? Oh, she's done the math. They have been planning this for years. You woke up in Georgia and here it is because now you got Joe, Joe and Minka and Rachel Maddow and CNN and all of them. Voter suppression, exact match. Okay, now, so far, because we're going to go to break, we're going to stay on this. Okay, so far, she wants the blue wave to include documented and undocumented. So if you're here illegally, she wants it to include you. Documented, if you are here and you have documents to be here as a resident of the country, but you legally cannot vote in our elections, she wants you to be able to be a part of it. All right, that's number one. And she did that with Elizabeth Warren just a couple days ago. The interview I showed you, okay, where on Fox 5, this is months ago, before the national media came in to save us in Georgia from voter suppression. Oh my God, I get so tired of that. Okay? He tells her, hey, there's 200,000. There's always this gap of 200,000, somewhere around that in Georgia. Where are you going to find those? Oh, she's smiling from ear to ear. I mean, she's grinning. Okay? Now, there was an old... Nah, I better not. I'm trying to stay serious, so I'm not going to go down any roads that get me in trouble. But she's grinning because she says, if you watch that again, hey, we've got the 200,000. In fact, we got more than 200,000. Because what we've done is we've put an effort together. I created the New Georgia Project. She doesn't tell you that there, which that's well known, okay? And we're paying people to canvass. And we're paying them to collect all the voter registrations they can, handwritten, okay? Handwritten. Now, let's do this, okay? I want to play a clip, the Rachel Maddow clip, all right? So we know all this is happening here in Georgia, all right? But here is Rachel Maddow. Hey, Rachel's a good guy, man. I'm telling you, I think Rachel's a good guy. But anyhow, here is her saving the day in Georgia. Now, do you have the time I put? Because it was a whole segment. I didn't want her whole segment. All right, Josh, roll the tape.
County had been charged with. None of the things they were charged with were actually illegal. Mailing in absentee ballots is not a crime. Registering your neighbors to vote is not a crime. But tell that to the people who Brian Kemp sent his armed agents door to door after in 2010. That's Brian Kemp, Georgia Secretary of State. He also instituted what's called an exact match program designed, honestly, to kill voter registration applications. If there's even one single digital character difference between your voter registration application and any other record the state has on file for you. So if, like, there's an extra space added by the registrar when she types in your name or your address, literally an extra space. Or if you live on something road and the registrar types in RD period to abbreviate road instead of RD, which is the way it's abbreviated without the period in some other database, then forget it. You're not registered. Your voter registration will be held until these irregularities can be sorted, if they can be sorted. Brian Kemp invented that. He got sued over that effort, in part because that unique program he designed and pursued out of his office seems to have had what everybody understood to be its desired effect. In the initial iteration of that program, which he came up with, 76% of the voter registration applications that got snagged by that new program Brian Kemp invented, 76% of them were from Georgia voters who were Black, Latino, or Asian. So civil rights groups sued him over that policy in 2016. In the end, he agreed to end the policy and settle with them. They thought that it was over and that would lead to reforms. Nope. Instead, Brian Kemp got the Republican-controlled Georgia legislature to pass a new law which codified that policy that he had just been sued over, so he could put the new policy into effect under a different statutory framework. And under the new iteration of that policy, it appears to be even more racially targeted. Under the old version of the law, the registrations he was snagging with this policy, again, were 76% Black, Latino, or Asian. Under the new iteration of the law, it's 80% Black, Latino, or Asian. See, he's getting better at this. Meanwhile, the Associated Press this week revealed under the new iteration of this policy for Brian Kemp, his office is sitting on over 50,000 applications for voter registrations that he...
All right, folks, pay attention to that. Now understand, Rachel Maddow made it the registrar's fault. You got it? If the registrar put something in, put a period in the wrong place. If the registrar, you understand? So first of all, every worker in the state of Georgia that works in an election office in every count, you should be outraged on how you just got the blame for the 57,000 or 53,000 supposedly voter registrations that are being held up. You see where she gave the blame. Now, I'm going to come back and we're going to work on the 2013 to 2016, okay? And the civil liberties lawsuit and what took place there, okay? What took place there. So we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back. I don't have time for Shogi today, or Shatogi, or whatever his name is. I'm sorry, okay? I don't have time for Horseface, Pocahontas, or Tiny right now. I'm focusing on Georgia, and I'd love for you to get this information to your independent friends, because I do know this. I've met some independents that have actually told me that after watching this and looking through this methodically, they see what's taking place here. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do today, because I'll make one more comment before we go to break. I'm telling you now, when you see early turnout, that's the Republicans and the Democrats rushing to vote. Rushing to vote. We'll talk about early turnout, big turnout for early voting on the other side of the break, but they're rushing to vote. It's the independents that are still listening, and I will tell you, a lot of independents listen up to Election Day to make that decision, and that's what we're trying to do. We're going to take a break. We're going to come right back and pay attention to where we're at here, because we're going to put this puzzle together.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business, and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Okay, we're back, folks. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, where we're up to is what we're trying to do, and you're going to have to do some research at home so I can get through the show. If you go to the New Georgia Project's website, it says more than 225,000 registered voters, okay? So we know in that interview that Stacey Abrams, okay, Stacey Abrams was going to told Fox 5, we have the 200,000. We know where to get them. Now in 2013, can we go to that video? Did you leave off where you left off? Can you back up about 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, on the last video we were playing? All right, do that.
And under the new iteration of that policy, it appears to be even more racially targeted. Under the old version of the law, the registrations he was snagging with this policy, again, were 76% Black, Latino, or Asian. Under the new iteration of the law, it's 80% Black, Latino, or Asian. See, he's getting better at this. Meanwhile, the Associated Press this week revealed under the new iteration of this policy for Brian Kemp, his office is sitting on over 50,000 applications for voter registrations that he has set aside because of the new iteration of this exact match program that he invented, where you don't count as registered if there's an extra space somewhere, or there's a period missing, or a hyphen missing, or somebody misspelled your name by 1 letter. More than 50,000. As we reported at this time last night, the same civil rights group that sued Brian Kemp over the last iteration of this policy have now filed another lawsuit against him to try to basically free those voter registrations and get him to stop doing this. But here's the question. In the state of Georgia, election systems are not like a normal level of screwed up. Georgia elections under Brian Kemp specifically have become special, very special in their big problems. That would be a big enough problem for the state if Brian Kemp was just running this year to stay on for another glorious term as Secretary of State in Georgia, running the state's election infrastructure. But instead, he is both running the state's election infrastructure, administering this year's elections, running this year's voter registration process as Secretary of State, and simultaneously, he is running as the Republican Party's candidate for governor in the same election. Imagine you're Stacey Abrams. How do you run against a guy who's holding that kind of power in this process? How how do you run to win, right? How do you run against a guy when he is serving both as your competitor at the top of the ticket in the election, and he is serving as the umpire, who has very specific, very aggressive, very apparently racially inflected ideas about who gets to vote, about who.
All right, keep in mind, as Rachel Mount, I wanted to show you that because so many of you there at home, you don't watch that stuff, and I understand, but that is what's getting spewed out as those lies, okay? All right, that's getting spewed out. More than 225,000 registered voters. Now, nothing in the world, can you take that out of my ear, friend? Nothing in the world is further from the truth of what that lady is sitting there. And that's what concerns me. I don't hate people. I promise. I come here, I don't hate anybody. What concerns me is when somebody like that has, and that's what I want you to think about when it comes to the media, because that's one of the things I love to study is the media. When somebody like that has the research team, has all the funding they need, can do all the homework, they have nothing else to do. This lady does not have to, let me say it this way, this lady does not have to run MSNBC. She doesn't have to. She doesn't have to make any decisions other than set up her show. She can work 24/7 on setting up her show and doing the research. Here, I don't have that luxury. And I say it that way, I call it a luxury, but I don't get to just go home and set up a show tomorrow. We have 100 other things going on here. We're a small business I have to be involved in. But I at least have time to look up the New Georgia Project. I at least have time to look up to where they have registered over 225,000 people. I here have the time to do the research for the truth when they have the resources and don't bring you the truth. Yeah, exactly. So what I want to focus on right there is 2013, okay? Now, they sued Brian Kemp, and this is where you're going to have to do some research and you're going to have to dig, okay? Because when you have federal laws, all right, remember exact match. Let's pay attention. Don't take it wrong, but pay attention. Exact match. You keep hearing exact match, exact match. First of all, they're blaming it on the registrars, okay? So whoever is entering the information, they're the bad people. So they should be an uproar in your county of the way they're treating your people, saying they're the bad people entering the data. Okay, that's number one. But after 9/11, not going too far into the weeds here, after 9/11, a lot of exact match things started taking place in federal legislation, okay? A lot of it started taking place. Not just voter registration. Passports, different things, identifications, addresses. There was a lot of scrutiny on exact match of ID and who people are and where they were going and where they were moving about the world and where they were traveling. That started happening in 9/11, the scrutiny. Now, there's some federal legislation out there, okay, that applies to exact match. And what happened in 2013, okay, is Brian Kemp attempted as Secretary of State to implement, coming back off federal legislation, an exact match policy for our voting system, okay? Now, when he was sued as Secretary of State, actually, the state has to enact that first under state law to complement federal law before the Secretary of State can do it. And this is where you're going to have to do some research. But that's really, now they have all this money and they run in with all these lawsuits, but they don't tell you the truth. So the federal legislation has a provision for exact match. Documents have to be exactly matched, okay? Your state has to pass a law complementing the federal legislation, and then your Secretary of State can implement things for the exact match. So what happened in 2013, folks? On there, Republicans in the state of Georgia knew what Stacey Abrams was ready to do. They knew the game plan. They knew they were going to get out there and do anything and everything to find that 225,000 votes they need. whether it be break the law, whatever, they knew. And they knew to safeguard our elections, free and fair elections. See, what gets me upset when it comes to this is the Democrats talk about free and fair elections and accurate elections. Realistically, what your Secretary of State has done, regardless of the name, Brian Kemp or not, and your Republican, and I do not take up for them that often. You're watching the wrong, you're making a mistake if you think I take up for the Georgia Republicans 7 days a week, okay? But in this case, their effort, and that I'm going to give them credit for, their effort to try to make sure that Georgia has free, safe, fair elections without hacking. I know all the media hype on hacking, okay? They are really interested in making sure that you, as a citizen of the United States of America, a legal resident of the state of Georgia, are able to go cast an accurate vote for the candidate of your choice. Period. That's how simple it is. You can write that sentence and there it is. That's all they're asking. But they know Abrams. Remember the video? I told you, 200,000, right? They know that gap. Now you go look up the new Georgia project. You watch the video, they know it. And they're excited. They blast it out. You got to leave it on the website and it'll come up. 225,000 registered voters. So in 2013 to 2016, here's what happened is Brian Kemp enacted exact match. All right? While Stacey Abrams was in the, has always done this, has been in the Georgia Legislative House of Representatives as the minority leader, fighting and opposing, okay, opposing online voter registration. Now, I will tell you this. I know somebody that went over to our local voter registration office to register to vote. And they went in and said, can I get a voter registration form to fill out to register to vote? And they were told, you can do that. But if you'll go home and go online and register to vote online, then everything will be accurate and you will know immediately if it's not. Okay? Stacey Abrams fought that because this is all a setup with Rachel Maddow. This is all a setup with CNN. This is all set up with MSNBC. Civil liberty lawyers or whatever, civil liberty rights or whatever they are, the lawsuit, it's all set up. So she fought online because she wants a Rachel Maddow to blame your county registrar for the handwritten registrations that they're compiling illegally from people canvassing and getting paid for it. All right? So in 2013, the Republicans knew, all right? They knew there would be this new Georgia project. And that this new Georgia project would go out and do anything they had to do to find their Democrat 200,000 vote gap. Because you heard in the video, oh, we have the votes. We know there's two. Where are you going to get 200,000? We have them. Then you heard in the first video, documented or undocumented, LGBT, black. But why are these votes, voter registrations, in 35 out of the 35,000, I forget, they said the majority, let's just say, you know, the first time in 2016, right, 70%, okay, and 70 to 80% are minorities, okay, people of color, black Georgians, in black voter registrations. Why? Why 60 to 70%? Because they're handwritten. Why? Because the people canvassing are going down and filling out these forms, and they are not getting these forms correct. They're not legible on purpose. They're not legible on purpose. The zip codes are not correct on purpose. The contact information is not correct on purpose. There's no way to get back in touch with these people. The addresses, the email, the contact, it's not legible on purpose. And then these people turn these voters' registrations in, and now you got 225,000, and 70% are being held up are black registered voters or people attempting allegedly to vote. So what happened 2013? The Republicans knew, okay, Brian Kemp knew that they were going to try this here and do whatever they had to do to register people, legal, not legal, right, wrong, indifferent. He put in exact match, got sued. The actual lawsuit, if you'll pay attention to it, all right, only meant that he was not able to circumvent the system and go around the state, which I don't think that was intentional. The way I said it might sound like he tried to do something, but he went straight off federal regulation. There's legislation, you got to do the research. So what did the state of Georgia do? They turned around and said, okay, we are going to now pass legislation. So the state of Georgia passed legislation allowing for him to implement exact match. He's not broke any laws, none, okay? Now, they're not happy. They have lawsuits pending, but he hasn't broken any laws. The state of Georgia, they went through all of the federal, and they wrote legislation to match or complement what they were supposed to do from the federal government, which allowed Brian Kemp to institute exact match. So in Georgia, you should be thankful that you have some people working on free and fair and accurate elections to the best of their ability, no matter the manipulation and lies of the media. So let's look at this here. Let's go to picture 2. Number 2, we have the votes. You know what I'm doing, Josh? I keep looking at the wrong monitor because I'm not used to it yet. There's number 2, we have the votes. Right there in the interview. You have 200,000 gap. We have them. She smiles. We have them. Number 3, on the campaign trail there with Elizabeth Warren, documented and undocumented, okay? Because they have the votes. Number 4, go look up the New Georgia Project, all right? And get the truth on these lawsuits. And 5A, the New Georgia Project reaches 221,897 submitted voter registrations. Submitted. Not accurate. Not accurate. Canvassers that get paid. Are they out to steal the election in Georgia? They may. And they've got the money people behind them. And they're trying. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break. We will be back. This is going to be we'll be back right at the top of the hour. We've got some things to get ready for the next hour. Here is, we'll come back. Got a couple more comments on this. I hope this is helpful, but you got to go look up some things on your own. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back at the top of the hour.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
I am running because, like you, I was frustrated with my voice being lost on misguided priorities, on our community's priorities ignored by both parties. My so-called representative speaks for Atlanta money. I want something different. I am Rick Day, and this is why I want to be your state representative in the 7th District of Georgia. My parents were working people. We lived in working neighborhoods where we played, studied, struggled, and pulled together. Community is a value I hold close. Our past prepares us for our future. Yet we get stuck in the problems of the present and forget about our future generations. I want something different. A legislative focus on the future, solutions for our district. But how do we pay for these things? No one likes taxes. There's a better way than taxpayers' wallet. Start with putting hemp back in Hemptown. How would you like a 50% property tax cut? Or sales tax reduction? Education fully funded? Taxes can be cut when finding new sources of revenue. Think Napa Valley, a regional marketplace for hemp and cannabis. New sources of revenue will increase well-paying jobs in North Georgia. But we have a problem. My opponent is in cahoots with Big Pharma, for-profit prisons, and alcohol and tobacco lobbyists. Why did they fight this? Because by 2022, legal cannabis revenue in the United States market is projected to hit $25 billion. Some say that's low. Ralston is 10 years behind the rest of us on this issue. Ralston is the problem. We need new solutions, not old stereotypes. Cannabis has been linked to shrinking tumors, reducing Alzheimer's impact, and helping people quit addictions. We need a new agenda. Even our president agrees the incumbent is wrong. Sad. Speaking of medicine, micro-hospitals are Band-Aids on tumors. We deserve better health care than what the GOP has allowed. I will help fix health care. To everything, there is a season. Ask David why he was for term limits, but now he's not. What good has our conservative-turned-career corporate incumbent Fat Cat done for us? You should call and ask the incumbent why he won't bring home some of that corporate bacon he's serving up down in Atlanta. 22 years in politics changes a person for the worse. The problem is not government, it's governance, the people running it. We deserve better. We deserve something different. For the first time in decades, you now have a choice. Even Republicans agree my opponent is the elite of the political elite and has taken us for granted. Everything he allowed to pass this year is too little. Election season window dressing. Corporate donors control the state agenda through paid-off servants. I have pledged not to take dark money, only individuals, contributions, and your vote. I am no politician and no fan of Clinton or Pelosi. I'm too old for a career in politics. But I will bring a business experience and common sense that's lacking today. We are all disgusted and alarmed over legislative ethics, and I will address them. But no doubt, my focus will be to flip the marijuana money flowing from the black market to the farmer's market. Finally, remember, ballots are secret. So on November 6th, if you vote day, only you will know you want a better way. I am Rick Day, and I approve this message to ask for your vote on November 6th to be your representative in the 7th State District.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Folks, I just want to make one more comment. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. If you would like to comment, get in touch with me. The number is 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700. Or also you can email me, chief@fetchernews.com. Or you can follow us on Twitter at Fetcher News, at FYNTV, and also our sports department at Team FYN Sports. Now, one thing I want to bring up before we go any further is I've told you this, and let me clarify it. When you look it up, this is from an article. Kemp's program, now listen, Kemp's program later passed federal muster in 2010 after he modified the program with a few new safeguards. Though it is not apparent the Secretary of State ever followed the safeguards. Now this is this media outlet trying to paint a picture, but remember, the nicest way they could put it is Kemp's program later passed federal muster in 2010. All right? Meaning there is federal precedence for this, okay? According to the lawsuit against Kemp's current exact match program, civil rights organizers sued Kemp in 2016 over this program as they discovered that his administration rejected 35,000 voter registrations between 2013 and 76.3 of which for black. Okay? Now, remember, Kemp's program later passed federal muster. No, when they sued him, okay, when they sued him, he had to take this program through the state, not just Secretary of State's office. So after they sued him and he had to back down off the program, the state of Georgia then wrote a law complementing the federal muster, they call it, which allowed Kemp to do this. You're not hearing it's against the law. Trust me, you're not hearing that, okay? And if your name is Thomas and it's not Tom, don't put Tom on there, okay? And that's just the bottom line. So I want to get away from that just for a minute. Stacey Abrams is out on a bus tour across Georgia. Abrams says she never endorsed illegal immigration voting. Not true, okay? So just keep that in mind, all right? All right, let's go to something else here. Now, Khashoggi. This is why I despise the media, okay? Now, I want to ask this question because I have not had time to do the research. But remember, everything we do when it comes to MSNBC, CNN, ABC, all of the networks, everything we do, we have always put this high emphasis on how do our allies feel? Why we're out of step with our allies. Our allies see this. Our allies have released a statement. Our allies say we're wrong. How do we look in the world? Our allies, our allies, our allies. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if MSNBC, CBS, ABC had these major outcry from our allies, they would be playing them. So just in passing, I'm saying in passing, I'm not seeing on the website. See, I go to a lot of websites. I'm not seeing, Prime Minister of Great Britain comes out and says, this is horrific, and which it is horrific, and we'll not stand for it, and, we're going to stop all oil imports from Saudi Arabia or whatever, okay? All of the above, over and over and over. Where do you see it? Do you see the outrage? I don't know. I'm not saying there's not. But there seems to be manufactured outrage. And this is hard to talk about because there is somebody, I allegedly, and I presume maybe somebody's dead. Khashoggi is dead, okay? He went in, we're hearing bone saw. I'm not joking, we're hearing fresh paint. Hey, I'll tell you what, we all learned off forensic files. Go in there, throw the luminol, see what's happening there, all right? And, I'll tell you how to solve this as you do one of those episodes of Forensic Files. But supposedly, in the Saudi Arabian consulate in Istanbul, Turkey, MBS, is that his to keep from pronouncing his name or his let me see here. Let me get this up. I want to get my page up. I'm working on anyway. Is it MBS, right? He's a bad guy. They supposedly work for him, the prince. And he goes in, and there's tranquilizer. That we have this stuff. We're hearing there's tranquilizers. We're hearing the guy was still alive when they were cutting him up. I'm serious. We're hearing all this stuff. Okay. And the fact that we have to remember is you know, he is a Saudi Arabian citizen. Stay there. An American permanent resident, a columnist or whatever for the Washington Post. Now, as a reporter, if you think this is some of my comments, you're not gonna like. But if you think the reporters in this country, the domestic beer in this country, the reporters in this country really care about this guy, okay, their colleague in the field, you're wrong. Okay. If their passion on all of their lead stories on all of these networks, because Khashoggi is top story no matter what you look at, no matter what network, this Khashoggi is top story. Let me have, let's put up, let's just go with number 17. Okay. Now, that's 5 a.m., right? Is that 5 a.m. in the morning? All right. Pompeo meets with Turkey's President Erdogan, okay? And he flies to Saudi Arabia. He's flying to Turkey, okay? He's going to give a full report to the President of the United States. He's going to give a full report to all national security advisors, the mustache, everything like that. But no, Trump saying, look, I've talked to the king. I called the king. He said he didn't do it. All right? What do you want me to do? He said he didn't do it. I said Pompeo. Now, if you think for 1 minute that the domestic media here in the United States of America are concerned in their hearts and they're really passionate about getting to the bottom of who killed Khashoggi, you're wrong. No. They have no problem with $7 a gallon gas. If they can cause a Saudi Arabian, okay, retaliation, okay, you got to remember, they run in every day and use the "we got Trump now," okay? Sorry about that. My earpiece is extra irritating this morning, besides me being irritating. They run in every morning and they say, "We got him now." That is what they live for, the "we got him now." Today is the day. We've got the story now. Today is it, okay? You see, it's Trump's fault that we've incited, not the media themselves. It's Trump's fault, according to them, that media, that journalists all around the world are in danger. If you're a journalist anywhere in the world today, you're in danger because of Donald Trump and his attack on the media. No, he didn't attack the media. How come you don't take, as far as journalists and media, responsibility for yourself of years and decades of manipulating, lying, and treating the American people like a mushroom? Why? How come you have no responsibility in this whatsoever that people all over the world are upset with journalists and media today? No responsibility. But you see, everywhere today in the world, if you're a journalist, it's Trump's fault that you are in danger. that you may lose your life. Now, they continue to run the stories, and we'll get to this in a minute. They continue to run the stories, and I'm not okay with a journalist getting killed, period. Just not. And this is a scary thought. But all day they're running the stories on, so back in 1991 or somewhere around there, Trump put his yacht on eBay. And the Saudis were the high bidder and bought it. They will tell you it's illegal, okay? And they will not tell you how many billionaires or whatever that year sold anything to a foreign government or sold anything to somebody that's in another country. They won't do that because it's not illegal. Trump's a businessman, had some debts he wanted to pay, and the Saudis said, hey, we'll give you 20 million for the yacht. He said, okay, I'll take it because I need to pay something off. I don't know. All right? They don't look at the other countries. Okay? The other countries that spend billions of dollars with businessmen in this country, okay? Now you go and look at any high-rise in downtown Manhattan, and you look at how many foreign countries or business people in other countries that have bought entire floors or bought several apartments on one floor. Now, Trump Tower in New York is an exclusive address. And it's not uncommon for someone like Saudi Arabia to buy a floor. I think that was in 1991. But no, that's all they can talk about is that Saudi Arabia spent money. I just wish, I'm not denying Saudi Arabia spent money, okay? Saudi Arabia spent money on Trump Tower buying a floor. I'm not arguing that Saudi Arabia bought, his yacht. And I'm not arguing, and some people is just mad that they didn't think of it first, that the guy's a businessman and he built a hotel and Saudi Arabian lobbyists booked rooms. I'm not arguing that any of that happened. I just wish the media would take the same effort and look at everyone else that Saudi Arabia does business with. Now, what they won't tell you is that none of this is illegal. None of it's been an illegal transaction. And none of these things are tied that Trump loves Saudi Arabia so much that he's going to say, okay, we'll turn our back to you killing one of your citizens, just letting it go. It's not there, folks. It's just not there. But if they could keep this on the network, okay, every day, and if they can release something that says that Saudi Arabia actually killed Khashoggi, or whatever his name is, Khashoggi, this journalist, and if we retaliate with sanctions and we end, it's okay for the media if, thousands lose their job because of a military contract that the Saudis cancel, or we cancel with the Saudis, and they go somewhere else. Now, I'm not saying we should do that, but none of these things are thought out. The media does not care about anybody. They care about helping carry the water for Democrats. None of this is thought out. None of this is thought out. They will stand on a stage, okay? Beto O'Rourke will stand on a stage in Texas and talk about how tariffs are a disaster for that state. It's an absolute disaster. They read no of the economic news, but they'll stand and tell you that these tariffs are an absolute disaster. So they're willing to give anything away, do anything they have to end the tariffs, regardless of who it hurts in their state or manufacturing or how many jobs they lose. They don't care. They'll stand on a stage, this Synonym or whatever damn name is out there in Arizona, will stand on a stage and say, tariffs are devastating. I watch state after state where they keep the Democrats saying tariffs are the number one thing devastating. They got nothing. You listen to one state debate. I'm asking you, you take the time and you listen to one state debate. I watched the Ted Cruz, Beto O'Rourke debate last night. They've all said the same talking points. Now, I will tell you this. If you watch a Republican debate in this state, in different states, Republicans stand on their own, make their own comments. The general theme may be there as taxes or something like that, but they make their own. Democrats, they have the points and they talk exactly the way they're told to, no matter if you're in Arizona, Florida, New York, no matter where, Texas. But all they talk about is how these tariffs are devastating to their state. But they have no care whatsoever that until we know all the facts with Saudi Arabia, this could be, one, $7 a gallon gas. It could happen, okay? It could be major military contracts canceled, okay? So all I'm seeing, I'm not taking up for Donald J. Trump here, the president. I want to be clear. And all things point to, okay? But we have a separation of powers. In our Congress, we have Lindsey Graham, and I agree with him. We have Lindsey Graham in our Congress that said, hey, we will not put up with this. There'll be a price to pay. If Saudi Arabia killed this guy, there's going to be a price to pay. So Donald Trump does what he's supposed to do. He tells Mike Pompeo, get on the plane, get over there. You go over to Saudi Arabia, sit down with him, you see what happened. Then you go to Turkey and you meet with Erdogan and you see what happened. And then you get me a full report. Well, the media's gone nuts because Donald Trump will not come up and confirm 100% what is alleged to have taken place in this Saudi Arabian consulate. He's going to wait. Now, it might be in while we're on the show. I mean, he may have made a comment, Pompeo, but Pompeo's getting all the information. Now, the media is calling Pompeo the cleanup man. He's going to Saudi Arabia. This is what you're hearing out of the media, which this is why I despise them. They're telling you he's going to Saudi Arabia to do what? To figure out how to clean this up and help them clean this up. Then he goes to Turkey and he says, look, Saudi Arabia, we're going to help them clean this up. And then they're going to devise a statement. All right? It's ridiculous. I, for one, find it very interesting that everybody knows so much in this. All right? But don't get confused for 1 minute that they care about this reporter. Don't get confused and think that, because they don't. Because the media would like to keep this in the news. I mean, it's not quite their Brett Kavanaugh, but it's next, okay? Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't think, okay? I don't think it's equal to, so please don't get upset with me the way I put this. But remember, John McCain's running against Barack Obama, all right? About 3 weeks before the election, maybe 30 days, if that much. Maybe, I don't know, is it 30 days? But anyhow, we had to put TARP together. I mean, all of a sudden, the world had collapsed. You're thinking everything's okay. You're thinking, you've heard some rumblings that there might be some layoffs. You've heard some rumblings they might cut overtime back. Your boss has some concerns. But you are very, very late. You're 4 weeks away from that election. All right? It was at 2010 or 2012. Okay? 2008. God, maybe I get this right sooner or later. But you're just 4 weeks away from that election, and you find out the world collapsed. And then you find out all of a sudden everything changed in your financial world. I tell you what, there's millions that their financial world changed in 4 weeks. I'm serious, 4 weeks. Okay? And there's millions out there that watched John McCain off of George Bush. There's no way. I mean, I'm thinking there's no way this guy's going to be, it's like, although it doesn't parallel, obviously, it's like the American people trusting Gerald Ford after Nixon, okay? So were the American people going to trust John McCain after George W. Bush when the world collapsed? People's economic situation was changing within 4 weeks, that rapid. Stock market crashed. And John McCain suspended his campaign and Barack Obama so they could fly back to vote on TARP. Okay. Now, it's not that drastic, but let me tell you, I don't know if it will happen, but the Democrats are sitting there because they know if they could get you going to get gas before you go to the polls. And that gas, I know it's around $2.80 here in Georgia, $2.68, $2.70, okay? It's not been over $3, but it's hovering at $2.87 mark. They know if they could get you to go to that pump and that gas looks about $5.50 a gallon, oh God, they would love every minute of that. They do not care if they collapse anything they can and make it any harder on you or subject you to any kind of pain in this country. If they can spin it around, manipulate anything to get the vote. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm not seeing the outrage. Not taking up for Saudi Arabia. I want to be clear on that. I don't see the outrage around the world because the rest of them, though, they don't want that $20 a liter for gas, and they're being a little cautious. So let me just say this before I take a break. Oh, don't think for the pain. This is really how low they can go, okay? They are upset. Their stories, go to number 5. The real number 5, not 5A. Number 5, go to 5, okay? And Trump MBS said he and the king knew nothing about it, and that was very important. But what are they all been out of shape about that you've heard? That there is Mike Pompeo with the king, and in the pictures, Pompeo is smiling. He's sitting there with these murderers and he's smiling. Sitting there with these murderers and he's smiling. Okay? Well, we could have this, number 1. Number 1. We can have him over there bowing down and kissing their ass, whichever you want. That's up to you. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back after these messages. We've got a lot to do before we close up the show. I'm your host, BKP.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. You know, let's tell people how we can vote here. Not how we can vote here. Maybe I've said vote too many times today. What if you want to get in touch with the show? 706-889-9700. 706-889-9700. Chief at FetcherNews.com. At Fetcher News, at FYN TV, at Team FYN Sports. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, FYN TV, Fetcher News. Now, this is a little late in the game. It's 9:32, but I should have acknowledged just early on the person that sent me the notification concerning the rides to the election booth that are being offered, okay? Things of that nature. I will check into that today. Did you see the story in Georgia? Get off the bus. The get off the bus story. We'll go over that a little tomorrow. We'll look at that. Okay, why do we, and most of you out there, I'm going to tell you, most of you know this, why I, for one, let me just talk for voting, I do not believe in early voting. Now, don't get all bent out of shape if you were one of the early voters from yesterday or whenever. Daggone it, what did I do with my phone? Oh, it's in my back pocket. Sorry, folks, give me just a second here. All right, so we're looking every day at the numbers of early voting in the rural counties. Let me just go over a couple things, and I'll tell you why we were looking at this. I want to see when it falls off, all right? Fannin, 367 for Fannin, slightly down. Okay, 367 yesterday. 443 for Lumpkin. This is higher than the last midterm in 2016, I'm being told from Lumpkin. Towns 272 yesterday. Fannin had another 460, more than the first day, 162, 86 absentee, and 6 military ballots returned. So Fannin had 460 yesterday, more than the actual very first day. So I'm looking at this on a daily basis, okay, so we can start seeing when it goes down. I want to see if I can monitor if it's just the base enthusiasm, which I think it may be the base Republican Democrat enthusiasm, but we're looking at that on a daily basis. But let me just say this. I do not believe in early voting, okay? Don't get mad. I just said that twice, right? Don't get upset. If you do, hey, the law says you can do it, go do it. I just don't believe in it. I believe you have election day. It's my opinion. Too many things could go wrong. My nerves are shot of this mail-in. If you go to the New Georgia Project, they show you how to mail them in. Remember, all this, they want paper ballots, and I'm good with that. But the registration and mailing in the ballots, just, it's hard to authenticate things, like to match it up. Whoa, there you go. We're in trouble for that already, for wanting fair and fair elections, right? And free. But I think you should go vote. I really do. Now, obviously, the Founding Fathers did not know we'd have the internet and the World Wide Web, and we'd have, Google and Facebook and Twitter and all of the major social media groups that were manipulating and controlling us. All right, they didn't take that into consideration. But we vote on Tuesday, okay? And we vote on the first Tuesday of November. First Tuesday in November. And it was based on the time when this country had, it was farmers, predominantly farmers. And farmers couldn't take a day off work, okay? And remember the biblical Sabbath, all right, biblical Sabbath, not Quran Sabbath, okay? So Tuesday was established, all right? Farmers often needed a full day to travel by horse-drawn vehicles to the county seat to vote. Now, obviously the population and everything is not, was not heavy, at these times, right? But there was a county seat. I love how we've gone nuts. Randolph County, was it Randolph County in Georgia that they wanted to close polling precincts? I mean, so anyhow, this mad dash to make it to where anybody who wants to vote can vote, and helping people, and Americans don't take advantage of the right they have to vote. But they went to the county seat. Our farmers painstakingly, now if we hear a story that somebody had to catch a ride 9 miles to cast a vote, all hell breaks loose. Why, we need a precinct there. And if we don't put a precinct there for those 82 people that live within that area, why then we're voter suppression. There was a county seat back then, okay? In 1845, the United States was largely a farming society. It was the county seat. Farmers had to travel almost a day. It was almost a day travel to get to the county seat to vote. Tuesday was established as the election day because it did not interfere with the biblical Sabbath or with market day, which was on Wednesday in many towns. So you have Saturday, Sunday is Saturday's a work day, okay? Sunday is the Sabbath. You travel Monday, you vote Tuesday, you get back Wednesday for market day, and you get back Wednesday night for prayer meeting. It's real simple. But no. Our founding fathers, the farmers, the American people went to the county seat. We go crazy. We yell voter suppression over every damn thing. Okay? Everything. Now we have more access to get to the county seat. We could drive. I don't know unless you get out in Texas. Okay, now I don't know. I'm not going to go there. But in Georgia, you could drive to the county seat anywhere in Georgia, max 35 minutes from any direction, maybe 40 at tops, if it was that much, not a day. So I don't know. I think we should vote on Saturday, no early voting, none whatsoever, and that's it. And the only provision you make is an absentee with some limited reasons why you were absent and can't be there, and military. That's it. And you go vote. But I get tired of them going crazy over that. So it is unreal why we have these fights. Okay, now, so give me number 7, I think it is. Give me number 7. See if I can read it across the room. It's not coming up on my computer. Donald. Or Tiny. I'm sorry. I wanted to wait till I got this. I don't like to make too many jokes. Federal judge throws out Stormy Daniels' lawsuit versus Trump. Trump is entitled to full legal fees. Has anybody seen the all over social media that Trump may be the first person ever to get a refund from a hooker? I mean, that's all over social media. Sorry, folks, okay? Trump is entitled to full legal fees at Fox News. Great. Now I can go after Horseface. Now I can go after Horseface and her third-rate lawyer. You remember Michael Avenatti? Wait for me. I've got a lady that has been involved in gangbangs, and she's not out at the Bunny Ranch in Vegas. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, America, what a country, right? Now I can go after Horseface and her third-rate lawyer in the great state of Texas. She will confirm the letter she signed. She knows nothing about me. A total con. They're cons. Stormy Daniels and Michael Avenatti have been trying to run a con. They've been trying to run an American heist. They've been a duo that's run a con on this country, okay? He says, oh, Horseface. So let's go to number 16. Okay? There's number 16. And there you go. So she writes back and she calls him Tiny. She calls him Tiny, right? But there's old Tiny, and then Elizabeth Warren. How many jokes can anyone tell with Elizabeth Warren in the joke? How many times? Pocahontas, this guy hit the ball out of the park and it's still sailing the first time he ever said Pocahontas. And she runs and does the DNA test, all right? So the social media has blown up over Warren and Pocahontas. It's absolutely hilarious. To me, I think it should just destroy her chances of being a candidate. But then again, I don't know if I'd hate to see that, because I don't know if I wouldn't mind, hearing Pocahontas on the campaign trail over and over by Trump. I mean, wouldn't it be neat if he's in a debate with her and he just looks over and says, Pocahontas, really? So, I'm sorry. And then you have Horseface. That's why I had to wait to the end. I cannot put those. Then you have Horseface. I love Horseface. I mean, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with Horseface? I love it. All right. Okay. I watched Beto O'Rourke, and let me just check to make sure, while I'm here in the studio, high atop of LJ at BKP FYN TV Tower, 14th floor, that the world hasn't fallen apart in some strange way that I'm not aware of. So let me check something. Let me run around. I don't have 9 monitors here. Let's see. 5 takeaways from Cruz O'Rourke's debate showdown. I watched that last night, and I'm telling you, it is. Let's go to. There's something else I want to do, because let's go to. I'm not going to get them all up there, Josh. Let me go to where I have. Where is Rourke? Number 13. Just give me number 13 here from last night. Healthcare, who pays? Okay. They can't answer, and this is Beto O'Rourke or whatever his name. Folks, Medicare expansion would cost. I'm listening to this. $36 trillion. Now pay attention to this, because I want to put this together, okay? Healthcare, who pays? Now supposedly it's $36 trillion, which our national, what we bring in is just over $1 trillion a year. So who puts the money out for the $36 trillion? Now here's what I find it's interesting, okay? The media carries his water, Cortez's water, whatever her socialist name is, Gilliam's water down in Florida, the Democrat candidate for governor, Stacey Abrams, you name it. They carry the water. Bernie Sanders. And healthcare, who pays the $36 trillion? Now, on one day, you can go from one network to another, or you can go within an hour on the same network, and they'll carry this guy's water, okay? This guy wants single-payer health care. Now, he talked about down there in El Paso, okay, how safe it is, but he would never address border security. Ted Cruz, he walked clear away from talking about border security. But I want to talk about the $36 trillion. Who pays? All right? Now, let's go to number 15. All right. And I want you to listen to this, because this is I'm trying not to be negative in the elections to a point that it would, make you think your vote could go to a Democrat. Just stay with me. So they're going to do a town hall, CNN, and they claim that Ted Cruz has turned them down, probably for good reason. If you remember the town hall after the CNN town, I would never do a town hall with CNN. I mean, after the Parkland shooting, that town hall, all right, I'd never do a town hall. But the Texas Senate town hall represented Beto O'Rourke, okay? And who's going to pay the $36 trillion? Now, this guy is in the House of Representatives. He's a representative down there in Texas. Now, as a representative, he knows. So let me tell you what he knows. And Ted Cruz knows this too, all right? Go back to the last picture. I don't remember the number. 13. Healthcare, who pays the $36 trillion? So as a member of the House is where the purse strings are in this country. Now, do you have candidates out there on the campaign trail talking about cutting spending? No. Do you have Democrats talking about cutting spending? No. Republicans? No, not at all. They pick these fights for TV effect. Okay? You take the Supreme Court of the United States with Brett Kavanaugh. All right? Why, we sat on the edge of our seat wondering if a plane was going to have to come with the one senator, and we had Mike Pence up there, and we watched 30 minutes of Susan Collins. I mean, if they could have pulled any more juice out of Kavanaugh's confirmation, where they would have gotten it, I don't know, because they pulled and they squeezed that for everything it was worth. But at the same exact time, and that was a razor's edge vote. I mean, that was a razor's edge vote. We were waiting. That was one vote away. Will a Democrat support it? But at the same time, you have no argument from Chuck Schumer. You have no argument from Nancy Pelosi. You have no argument from Mitch McConnell. You have no argument from Paul Ryan. You have no argument from your congressman or congresswoman, no matter if they're a Democrat or Republican, on the size of the spending bill. While this was going on, we were passing a ginormous spending bill, again, over and over. Never any discussion. There's no fight. When is the last time you saw who pays? When is the last time you saw that fight over the spending bill? And the mad, like, okay, well, are we going to be short one vote? And, you know, the president's making calls now to the congressman saying, hey, I need your vote. And who's working the floor and who's making the speeches and when? You don't. Oh, you get the phony shutdown of the government when there's nothing else to take its place and we need some political, theater. We'll have that shutdown thing. But when? When is the last time? If you take a Republican that voted against the spending bill, why, they are shunned. They are considered so far to the right. They are radicals. Why, they're so radical, they're to the right, they're out of the mainstream, and they need to get on board. When? Oh, no. You don't have no fight. Pay attention to that. You don't have to fight a Republican or a Democrat. I'm of the belief, whether you think so or not, I'm of the belief if you got up this morning and felt that there'll ever be a day in your lifetime or your kid's lifetime that you ever pay off the debt, it ain't happening. I don't think there's any plan to ever pay the debt off. I don't think there's any concern about the debt. And I think as soon as it collapses, they'll be ready to take their part and turn around and start all over with something new. But I don't think there's any concern. No concern whatsoever. Because let me ask you something. There's Beto O'Rourke. He is in the House of Representatives from Texas. He is one of those guys that votes every time for the spending bill. And you know what? Ted Cruz does too. Give me picture 18. Now, I understand this is on MSNBC, but all of a sudden MSNBC is concerned that the tax cuts is what you're hearing. The federal deficit rises previously $666 billion, which is biblically scaring the hell out of everybody, okay? And then in 2018, it rose. The federal deficit rises $779 billion in 2018. And give me the number 19. They're going to tell you, due to this, okay? Due to this, corporate tax revenue falls by a third. Previously $297 billion. Now it's only $205 billion. And the corporate tax rate, one more time, federal deficit number 18 rose to $779 billion. Okay, MSNBC, are they concerned? Hell no. Corporate tax rate fell by a third, 2018. Okay, all they're trying to paint the picture is, we told you. Now listen to this close, because this is the close of the show. They're trying to tell you that we told you the Trump tax cuts would do this. We told you if Trump cut taxes, okay, if Trump cut corporate revenue, corporate taxes, this would happen. We tried to tell you that this tax cut was not going to help. Okay, and this is what would happen, is the debt would continue to skyrocket. And now we're gonna prove it. Okay, furthest thing from the truth. The tax cuts have zero to do with whether this is going to work or not. But the tax cuts without, without spending cuts can never work. Okay? I'm going to tell you something. If you haven't caught on, I like the President of the United States. If you haven't caught on, I like Donald Trump. But I'm going to tell you something you need to catch on to. If you are sitting out there today and you ever think we're going to outgrow the debt by we are going to grow at rates that we are going to be able to reduce our debt monetarily, you're wrong. But if we would cut spending enormously, then growth through tax cuts can actually offset and bring down the debt. But you don't have a politician on either side, okay? You don't have a politician on either side of the aisle that's truly going to figure out where the money comes from and when to stop it. Go back to Beto O'Rourke. What was that, 17? No, not 17. That was, sorry, I forget the number. 13. Go back to 13. This guy wants a $36 trillion Medicare for all. Who's going to pay? Who pays, period? It's the only thing I like here. Healthcare. Who pays? They're on there campaigning pre-existing conditions. Okay, I'm with you. Who pays? They're on there saying school and increases and raises and this and that and that. Okay, who pays? They'll never tell you that, because let me tell you something. Under the smoke of everything they do on the media and sensationalize any issue is the fire burning below. And that's always these spending bills that nobody talks about. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be time for Carla's Corner. It'll be Thursday here. And that's pretty much it. Now it's time for Instant Replay with Dave Garner. So don't go away. Right after these messages, our sports show, Instant Replay with Dave Garner. Take us to break, Josh.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.